An alert from Houston Health Department. Heavy tree pollen for the rest of this month. I'm already sneezing, itchy eyes. Already thinking about it. Thank you so much for joining us. Tree pollen usually peaks in March, but this year it's a little early.
Yeah, and it's expected to last a little longer, too. Houston Health Department reports days with high pollen counts can last as late as mid-April. Joining me now to discuss is Dr. David Purse, Chief Medical Officer for the city of Houston, talking about ways to reduce the symptoms. Right, Dr. Purse?
Yeah, absolutely. The symptoms are miserable for anybody who experiences this. They already know this, but for the rest of us, it's really this part of your face, right? It's the eyes, it's your nose, it's the roof of your mouth, it's your throat. You get sneezing, congestion. It can be really, really miserable. So it's a serious thing for some folks, yeah.
But there's pretty easy ways that allergy sufferers can deal with this during this time of year, right? What are some ways that they can avoid their allergies?
Yeah, some of the most effective things are the simple things. Now, they're not always really convenient, but they are effective. So understand that pollen counts are generally highest in the morning, maybe through the midday. So we want to limit your time outside during those early morning hours before, say, noon or 1 o'clock. Sunglasses will help, keep the pollen from getting into your eyes. It gets in your hair and on your clothes. So when you go back indoors, you might want to make sure that you change your clothes. Or you may want to, the other thing people don't think about is that you can get the pollen into your bed. So you might want to wash your hair before you go to sleep at night. And then if you got chores you got to be done out in the backyard, I remember as a kid, my mom used to tell me that's what I was around for. So that I would go out in the yard and do that yard work so that my mom didn't have to. And that's another way you can avoid exposing yourself to all that pollen, which, as you point out, is really high right now for the tree pollen in particular.
Yeah, and we can't forget about our pets. Pets going outside and also coming back inside. They're bringing it in too. So you definitely have it in your home this time of year.
Yeah, and so, the other thing you can do is, you've got air conditioning in your home, so you want to make sure that your filters you change them probably no less than once a month. You want to change those filters. If you're going out and driving around town, I hate to say it, the weather outside has been great the last couple of days, but you'll probably want to keep those windows rolled up. There's simple things that you can do. Like I said, not necessarily convenient, but they're simple and they're really effective.
And there's really effective over-the-counter medicines too. So how long before pollen season should people start on over-the-counter allergy medications?
Yeah, so for the experienced allergy sufferers, they probably already figured out for themselves, but you don't want to wait until your allergies are full blown before you start taking your medication, whether it be over the counter or prescription. You probably want to start that, before, because what happens is, the pollen gets into your eyes and your ears and your mouth, not your ears, your nose and your mouth, and it sets up the reaction where your cells then start releasing a number of things, but the primary one is histamine. What you want to do is you want to have the medication on board so you don't get that histamine release. Because once that histamine is out, it's hard to kind of bring those symptoms back under control. So you do want to get a head start, as you point out.
So are we already too late? I mean, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is kicking off tomorrow. We know a lot of people are going to be outside at the rodeo, or people might just be allergic to the dust and the animal dander that's there. Is it too late for us going out to the rodeo to start on those preventions like that?
Yeah, so let me say, it's never too late, right? It's never too late. So go ahead and start your medications. Depending on when you want to go to the rodeo, perhaps you're going to go for the carnival, or maybe there's a show in the evening. You want to make sure you got your medicine started probably a day or two at minimum before then. And when you go to the rodeo, there are lots of things. It's not called hay fever for nothing, right? That's the slang term for, we call it allergic rhinitis, but it's called hay fever for a reason. So lots of allergens at the rodeo. But, go ahead and take your medications. And then the other thing is that, we think of the bandana, that only the bad guys wear the bandana when they went in to rob a bank to conceal their identity. Well, that's not the only reason. The bandana is like a mask and does a good job of protecting. Now, I wouldn't recommend you go to the rodeo wearing a bandana, but I just thought as a little bit of a historical content, that'd be an interesting thing to add to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it goes with the Western wear. I think that's a great idea.
Dazzled, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. What are some ways that people can keep tabs on the pollen and the mold spore count for our area?
Yeah, so we're fortunate here in Houston. We're one of 85 cities across the nation that actually have a spore counting station here. And so we publish it on our website daily. And if you just Google Houston Health Department pollen, it'll come up for you. You can also call 713-247-5846. And there's a recording there. So if you can't get to a computer, you don't have a computer, you can call that number and you can get it. And then the other thing is I just want to thank Channel 2. Your meteorologists do a great job of reporting the pollen counts. And in fact, recently, Dacia Swad did a great job reporting how the health department's microbiologists do the spore counting. And so thank you to KPRC for doing that work. That was really
thank you very
really
much.
helpful.
Yeah, I agree that Daji's doing a great job. And I do rely on you guys because, you know, I know what my specific allergens are. So it's always great if you know what you're allergic to get on the website, know when it's coming, and then you can be better prepared. So Dr. David Peirce, thank you for all that you do, and thank everybody at the health department for us as well.
Well, thank you for that. Happy
All
Rodeo,
right.
everyone.
Have a great Monday.